Hi everyone, welcome to Sugar Melts. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Today's video is going to be short and sweet and super easy. What I've been working on, and many of you have probably seen these videos on YouTube, I've been working on my own version of an ephemera notebook. Mine is a little more than just ephemera. I've got just a lot of the scraps and things that feel overwhelming. Doesn't take long in this hobby to feel overwhelmed by our scraps and pieces and parts and corners and nooks and crannies. So I watched a lot of videos the last couple days. It was actually my birthday this week, and but I was very under the weather. So dinner plans got canceled. There was no toasting to my birthday. I was just not feeling well. So, but I did watch a lot of YouTube. So I watched some videos, and some of them, as you've probably seen for ephemera, they make notebooks and they have pockets in there and they fill the pockets up with all the ephemera. And I've watched those before. That didn't work for me because to me that wasn't a whole lot different than having them piled up in shoe boxes, which has been my practice up until this week. So then I saw several that were using Tombow, the strips, the adhesive strips, and these sketch notebooks. And they looked like they worked really great because you could see everything. It was in one place, fast and easy. But what I didn't like was I didn't want to buy another notebook. You may have seen my video recently where I was collaging on some just notebooks, just your college ruled, single ruled notebooks. These are Dollar Tree, these Walmart, leftover from classes I've taken. If you have kids at home, or if you've been taking classes, and it's so rare that we would actually use up a whole notebook. We usually use 5 pages and we've got 100 pages left. So for this, I mean, just take that notebook, pull out those 5 pages, pull out those few extras, do the coil binding there, and you'll be on your way. You don't have to do a fancy cover, of course. It makes no difference to what's inside. But let me show you what I did. And I'm doing this on the regular notebook paper. The difference between mine and the sketchbook is that instead of using the regular Tombow adhesive, you may not know that Tombow also has a removable adhesive. The difference is the regular one is, can you see this? It's blue. The removable one is more of a green, a turquoise. So look for this one. They have it at Michael's, they have it at Amazon, and try this out because it's super fast and easy, and you don't have to buy another notebook. Everything will come off. You can see everything super easy. So here's some examples. See, I just put them in here. I can take them out, see if I want them, tear part of it off, put the rest back. They all come off. Super easy. Well, I don't want to get another coil there. And just have to be careful, as with anything, when you turn the page, because they can pop off a little bit. But see, I did this in the last 2 days. I mean, this is just so easy. I can see everything. I can move them around if I want to. Now, as other people have said, the first time they put them in, they weren't crazy organized. You know, if you're sorted together in your notebook, that's great, but you don't have to kill yourself to get them in here, and you can move them around later. The goal, though, is getting everything visible in one location, and then over time, if you want to move a few things around, you can. But this is such a great way to see everything you have. I'll tell you, I came upon some stuff that I didn't even remember having, or maybe I didn't see it because it really does interrupt the flow when you're trying to collage, getting too distracted by all the pieces and parts and being overwhelmed on your workspace and putting things around and where did this one piece go? And it can just take away from the joy and the relaxing component of doing your collaging. So this way, I'm able to see everything. I'm able to get inspired. And it's just a beautiful process. So we're going to do a couple pages, and I'm going to show you a couple things that I learned along the way. I would definitely recommend, if you're doing this in a regular notebook, not the sketchbook that other videos are doing. They're doing the Canson's big extra large sketchbook, and it looks great. They really do look beautiful. I was sick. I didn't want to go to the store. I didn't want to spend the money on another notebook. So just using a regular notebook, you don't want to use probably the regular adhesive because it is a little sticky, and I accidentally put a regular one in once and things are a little stickier than I want them. So you'll be, I think, a lot happier if you track down these three pack of the removable adhesive and just use that. It's the same casing because we pop these out, put the new one in, and we'll probably do that. I'll probably run out of this before the end of this video. And you can see I've got little spots here. I can always go back in here as I use something and move things around and stick them in here. But I mean, I don't even remember some of these pages. I realized I had so much more of this old-fashioned 1950s vintage things between the dressings and the food, and this is a little Jell-O mold here. I didn't know I had all that, and so it just makes me inspired to do something really nostalgic like that, and to see everything. And I'm using also my pieces of scrap paper. That's another thing that just becomes so overwhelming, and when I can't see it, I just honestly don't realize it's there. I saved some of these little journal cards, and I'll be able to put them together. And of course, there's the occasional skipped page, because after all, it's a notebook. Yeah, we'll fill that up in a second. No big deal, because there's no specific rhyme or reason to this. I did not put any stickers in here at this time, maybe a couple that were already cut into, but I'm saving that. I'm saving larger pieces. These this is about the largest piece I've gotten here, but I was really focusing on the smaller bits that just really get lost in this whole process. I'm okay if they overlap a little bit because it's removable. The other thing I did learn in this process, so think about this as we're doing our pages, if you're following along and grabbing your book, some of your pieces, like this one, for example, is actually a two-sided piece. So now for this one, I knew I would want to use this side, but some pieces are a little harder, and you may not know in this moment which side you'll ultimately be using. So you may not want to put that in this notebook just yet, because it will have even the removable glue on there, and that may just leave you with a product you're not happy with. So I would be very careful if there's some papers that are two-sided and in this moment you love both sides. If you know which side, the other thing I would recommend is putting the glue only in the center, because like this will be kind of a journal card probably. I mean, you can't write on that. So I'll be putting like a little piece of paper on that, or index card. So I don't want glue up around the edge, because this will ultimately be like the matting. So think about that as you're putting the glue on there, is just to focus on the center. But you can see, I mean, I'm turning all these pages, nothing's falling out. Maybe an occasional one or two, no big deal. They just stick right back on. The other thing, there was one comment in one of the videos I watched where the commenter suggested taking your tape runner and just going up and down, and that would be faster than each individual one. I tried that on one page. I wasn't happy with it because the page before it can stick to any little parts that are, any little glue sections. If I had done a tape runner here, and this section here would be with glue, and that, even though it's removable, could still be stickier than I wanted. So I don't recommend that, but I'll show you my approach. So let's go ahead and we'll just work on some stuff here and see where we get to, because I've got this whole pile. What I have found that works for me is if I take the pages, and again, I just kind of do a double check and see if I know which side I'm going to use. And actually, see, I thought I was going to want to use this side, but I kind of like how neutral that is. So I'm going to put the glue on that side. And this one has stuff going on, but I'm always partial to the butterfly. So what works for me is if I set a bunch of these pieces out upside down And then I got so much stuff in here, it's crazy. Oh, see, here's another example. I kind of like both sides, so I'm not positive in this moment. I'm going to leave that alone for now. And let's just go on. This is a sticker. I don't want to mess with stickers right now. See, some of these pieces, I'm just not positive which side I'll end up using, so I'm not going to put them in. Oh, well, that's going to be the butterfly. But if I put them all upside down and then put my glue on, it saves a lot of time before putting them on the sheet. You could do them one by one. There's no reason you can't do that. But if you are looking to be efficient with your time, you can certainly do it this way and just do several all at once, and it will come together. And if there's openings, that's fine. Don't worry with this process. You're going to fill it up. So here's another one. I'm not positive. I look at both of these. I like both of these images, so I'm going to flip them over. I like to do 2 small strips of glue right in the middle. It helps it hold a little bit better, just having that second little bit of glue. And, oh, that's pretty. They're both pretty. Oh, I don't know. And then I can, and again, keeping it away from the sides, because you don't want to mess up any matting that you may use later. We don't know when we're going to use this. You can cut them all down. For some of these, I didn't take the time to cut every single one down. Later I'll probably have to cut them down, but it's also an advantage that they won't get separated in this process. So there we go. So another page filled. Okay, so we can just keep on going. You can see how fast and easy. I mean, my gosh, if I weren't talking, I'd be flying through this process. So this is just a really fun, easy way to get all of your scraps in a safe place where, see, this is fun too. I like that. This was like the edge of, I don't know, the box or something. I don't know what this is, but it's pretty sturdy. And I'm just going to secure that right there. Here's another one that got really torn. I don't know if you can see that. I just shredded that when I was trying to save the image, because that's what we do. Nothing goes to waste. And so now I've got I'm so happy with this process. And I've got this beautiful notebook here to secure everything. And I can see everything. There's a lot of notebooks out there that have, again, they have the pockets, which, you know, maybe that's what works for you. As long as you find what works for you, that's the important thing. I will say I'm real happy with how this is turning out. It's a lot cheaper because I'm not buying another notebook. I'm just using what I already have, which is, you know, what we do in this craft. And I'm using what I've got. And the only thing that I invested in was this removable adhesive, and I would have had to buy more Tombow anyways. I would have never had enough of the regular strip. Oh, okay, so here's a perfect example. So when it runs out, which it will, once you get going, all you do is down on the side here, so you roll like this. There's a little thing down here. You just push that, and this whole thing was just going to pop right out. Just, of course, see, this happens easily all day long until the camera's on. And so this one is empty. So I'm going to throw that in the trash. And of course I buried. Open this up. Get out a new one. Pull that little cardboard protector. And it's going to slide right into place. Get it lined up. There we go. Super easy. Pull down the cover, this little protective cover for the glue, and you're back in business. It takes 10 seconds. It's really easy. So, and then you're back in doing what you do. So I encourage you to look at this and see if this is something that would work for you. I think it's a great practice, a great way to keep track of all that you have, so you're using the product that you have. It's so easy to think, oh, I don't have anything, and it's because we can't see it. That's why we can't find it. And and it goes unused, it goes unloved, and so this way we get to appreciate it, we get to use. The reason we bought it to begin with is because we liked it so much, and now we get to embrace that. And I just keep going in here, and it's just such an easy process. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope this practice kind of resonates with you, and you find some tips that help you in your ephemera journal process. So whether it's scraps, whether it's journal cards, whether it's ephemera, this is such an easy way to keep everything all in one place, nice and neat. So hope you're having a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.